In my opinion, the biggest problem facing indie game developers is scope creep. So what is scope creep? Scope creep is the problem of adding more and more features to a product that can be considered inessential. These inessential features can be added later in development, but should be cut if you want to release a minimum viable product, which is classified as a version of your product with the smallest amount of features which can be released. Scope creep for indie devs could cause the release date of your product to be pushed further and further away, which can be very demotivating. Currently, I am making a crime open world game set in Perth, Western Australia, inspired by the Grand Theft Auto series. Open world games are known in the indie game industry for being very hard to produce as an indie dev, and after a year of working on my game, I definitely understand that. My main problem at the moment is that I feel like after working on my game for over a year, I should have produced more than what I have at the moment. Now you may be wondering, how do you deal with scope creep? I was wondering this too, until I found a way. I use something called a roadmap, which can be defined as a plan made to achieve a certain goal, including the major steps needed to achieve this goal. In this case, it's a plan made to produce a minimum viable product for my game. I decided to use a website called Miro to create my roadmap, and I used a product roadmap template that they provide. The link to this template will be in the description. The roadmap is segmented into different months, my one being from August to January. I am planning to create a new roadmap every 6 months, the one I'm currently using being for the second half of 2024, but if you want to make a roadmap, you can make it last however long you want. There are also differently sized coloured blocks underneath, representing all the features I want at the end of January, when my roadmap ends. I sorted each broad feature by different sizes of t-shirts. This may sound strange, but in product management, this is called t-shirt sizing. T-shirt sizing works by sorting each feature based on the amount of effort it requires to implement into different t-shirt sizes. Each t-shirt size has an approximate amount of space that each feature with its size takes on the roadmap. For example, a feature with a t-shirt size of medium we will say will take an estimate of 2 weeks to complete, while a large will take about a month. You can see this on my roadmap, with the features with a small t-shirt size taking significantly less space on the timeline than features with large t-shirt sizes. An important thing to note is that there are no specific guidelines on what feature should be attached to what t-shirt size. You should just estimate what t-shirt size it could be based off of the tasks you know would be needed to complete the feature. Each feature has a list of small tasks needed to complete the big task, which together form something known as a product backlog. Each small task in the backlog has a number next to it, called a story point. These story points are approximations of how much effort each task takes, and are usually set to numbers of the Fibonacci sequence, though you can use any kind of sequence you like. Make sure to remember that these are not measurements of how much time it takes to complete a task. It's instead solely based off of the relative effort it will take compared to the other tasks. If it turns out that you cannot fit all of your features on the timeline, you should probably cut some of the features, as that shows that your scope is too big for the amount of time you have given yourself, and you most likely won't be able to reach your deadline with all the features you want. Now, on to using the roadmap. In product development, you can organize your work into things called sprints. A sprint is a set length of time of development, which ends by reviewing your roadmap and seeing how your progress is going. If you have found that you are running behind on implementing a feature, or you have either under or overestimated how long a feature would take to implement, you should modify your roadmap, either cutting less important features if you're running short for space, or adding more features if you are absolutely sure that you have time to implement them. Personally, for my project, I decided to make sprints last 1 week, as I am a one-person team, but if you wish, you could make sprints last 2 weeks or even a month. After the first couple sprints, you should make note of how many small tasks you have completed, and then add all the story points of the completed tasks together. You can use this to calculate your velocity. Velocity is the measurement of how long it takes you to complete tasks per sprint, and can be calculated by dividing the sum of the story points of all your completed tasks with the length of time it has been since the start of your roadmap. For example, if I had completed 50 points worth of effort in 4 sprints, my velocity would be 12.5. You can now use your velocity to calculate if you are able to get through each feature in time, by comparing the amount of effort each feature takes with the velocity. So after that explanation of how road mapping works in a nutshell, here's how it applies to my game, which, as I've already stated, is in dire need of order. The goal of this is to get out a beta version of my game by January, which I admit is a very ambitious goal. So in order to keep you guys in the know of what's happening, I will try my best to upload a devlog every month, showing off my progress, what I've done, and how the roadmap is looking. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was useful.